Hunter Renfrow has been having one of his worst seasons to say the least. This guy just had over 1,000 yards last year and hasn't even come close to having a 100-yard game this season, and we have horrible news that Hunter Renfrow has been placed on injured reserve with an oblique injury. We know earlier on in the season he suffered a hip injury, and in week 2 against the Arizona Cardinals, Hunter Renfrow unfortunately had a concussion, and this is insane because another player as well has been placed on injured reserve for the Raiders, which is star tight end Darren Waller, who has aggravated his hamstring. So Waller along with Hunter Renfrow are on IR simultaneously. Waller has not appeared in a game for the Las Vegas Raiders since injuring that hamstring in week 5 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Waller even recently spoke about fans' frustrations with him not rushing back to the field too immediately.
If I know I'm not going to be effective and I go out there and run and, you run 5 plays and then it's right back to square one, it's just not smart. I don't think it's really served the team as far as longevity for the season, because I want to be able to go out there and be, available consistently. So that's what I'm trying to focus on right now.
So Waller is saying he wants to think about the long term. He doesn't want to just throw himself out there and then get injured and aggravate a hamstring even more. And this made sense. If you're talking about week 5 against the Chiefs. But now that we've moved on, we've played the Jags, it's been several weeks since that game, you would think Waller would be ready by now. And the coaching staff has finally decided to place him on injured reserve. However, why didn't the coaching staff think about putting this guy on injured reserve after week 5 against the Chiefs? If you would have done that, you would have quieted down the noise of the fans saying, hey, he's faking an injury. Why isn't he back? You would have for sure given Waller 4 weeks of rest. You would have opened up a roster spot, able to give some other guys some reps, some other guys some shots. Instead, we play this little game after 4 weeks. Hey, is he going to play? Hey, is he not going to play? Hey, is he too hurt? Who knows? And now he is placed on injured reserve after already being out 4 games, after already being out 4 weeks. 1 bye week is one of those games. And now Waller in total is going to be out 8 weeks for this season for the Raiders, missing a significant amount of time after being out after Thanksgiving last year. And when you're looking at the Raiders season, the fact that the Raiders are 2-6 right now, the fact that the Raiders are not having much success right now, even with Davante Adams, the fact that the coaching staff and the general manager is implying that we need to get better around Davante Adams on offense, meaning we need Darren Waller back to be that extra threat to open up Hunter Renfrow, to open up Davante Adams. And now Raiders fans are sitting with the cold reality that is just not going to happen this year. We are not going to have 3 of our superstar weapons on the field at the same time. Hunter Renfrow has only recently come back during the Kansas City Chiefs game. He had got taken out week 2, so he missed a total of 3 games. During that 3-game stretch, we had Davante Adams and Darren Waller, but no Renfrow. So there's always a moment when the 3 amigos are not together. We need all of our 3 amigos together. But what makes this injury a little interesting, and what makes this injury a little sketchy in some ways, now I'm not saying there's any fake injury. I believe this is a real injury. However, this was something that happened in August during training camp, during preseason. Waller not happy with his agent, no extension, needing more guarantees. So then he doesn't appear at practice for almost a month. He straight up just pretty much misses a month. There's a few days here and there, but he pretty much misses a month of practice, switches his agent to Drew Rosenhaus. Then he's back at practice the next day. The injury at that time was a hamstring injury. But then people started to think, hey, is this really just about the contract? And so we thought everything was going to be smooth sailing and fine with Waller. So maybe that was a legit injury this whole time in August. Or is there something else going on? Is there an agreement with the coaching staff and Darren Waller that, hey, this season's not too hot anyway, so maybe it's okay to take a chill pill for the rest of the year? Or maybe this hamstring thing is a real issue, which is kind of odd that the Raiders would give him such a fat contract extension, make him the annually highest paid tight end in the NFL. If this injury really was that significant, you would think the coaching staff and the GM would hold off on giving him this big contract extension. But maybe that's why there was this holdout at camp. Maybe that's why there's this whole thing where we didn't know whether or not Darren Waller was going to be with the team in the future. We know the Green Bay Packers reached out to try to trade for Darren Waller. Not only during the trade deadline did they reach out to try to trade for Darren Waller, but allegedly they tried to include him in the package for the Davante Adams deal, and they even wanted to make a play for him again during the draft. So the Packers made a play for Waller 3 times this year, once during the Davante Adams trade in March, second during the draft in late April, early May, and then third during the trade deadline. However, the Raiders have extended Darren Waller, and they have so much dead money tied to him this year, you'd pretty much lose $20 million in cap this year in in dead money. Next year, it's not so bad. You're only eating up like 8 million in dead money, freeing up 12 million in cap. And so maybe that's weighing in the background here. Waller, not sure how invested the Raiders are in him, or maybe the Raiders aren't that invested in Darren Waller. They're placing him on IR, not giving a chance to come back, even though it seemed like he was making progress based on what he was saying in the press conference. By the way, Raider Nation, I want you in one word to summarize what this means for the Raiders. Drop one word in the comment below. I like going live during games, bro. I'll be watching Thursday Night Football tonight live on this channel. Former Raiders Marcus Mariota and the Falcons versus the Carolina Panthers. And this Sunday, I'll be checking out the Raiders face off against Jeff Saturday and the Colts. Check us out live on this channel. My name is WiFiWillie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.